Ladies and gentlemen, what you are about to witness is a debate on the preposition resolve that a federal form of government be adopted in the Philippines. Both parties will attempt to justify their sides regarding on the preposition presented. Both parties are evaluated on the depth of the research and on their ability to understand and accurately present a perspective different on their own. For the affirmative side, we have Mr. Mike Angelo E. Hongoy, and for the negative side is Mr. Raymart J. Gama. Let us now hear the constructive speech for affirmative side.
Change is inevitable. Change is coming. To our honorable adjudicators, chairman, chair lady, accurate timekeeper, moderator, and audience, a pleasant day to each and everyone. I am Mike Angelo E. Hongoy, and I am the affirmative side of the proposition resolved that a federal form of government be adopted in the Philippines. As the speaker of the affirmative side, I am tasked to present to everyone the proposition that will be debated today. Tackle some issues why the current government system is dissatisfying, and of course, suffice everyone with arguments detailing why there is a need to adopt federalism in our country. With these reasons, I will present to you some points on why it is necessary for the Philippines to adopt a federal system of government. Point 1. Federalism will complement the country's geographical setup and cultural diversity. The Philippine geography makes travel and communication difficult, time-consuming, and costly. Composed of several islands, the highly centralized unitary form of government is ineffective in dealing with contingencies in far-flung parts of the country. The administration and power is concentrated in Manila, which results to inequitable development among the different regions. Development is inequitable and stunted because there is difficulty in reaching and responding to the needs of remote areas. Regions have their own unique problems, situations, geographic, cultural, and social economic contexts. Federalism allows them to create solutions to their own problems instead of distant Metro Manila deciding for them. Point 2. Federalism will hasten the economic development among the various regions of the country by allocating power which at present is concentrated in the central government to the regions that will be converted to federal states. As presented by former Senators Pimentel Jr., Angara, Enrile, and others, the unitary system of government shows that the country's development programs are centrally determined, planned, funded, and implemented by the national government in Manila. However, the concentration of such enormous powers in Manila has created only one of the center of finance and development in the country, resulting in a highly centralized system of government, leading to a spotty development of the nation, where preferential treatment has been given to localities whose officials are friendly with or have easy access to an incumbent administrations. This lopsided arrangement has found a host of problems, including massive nationwide poverty, to run away insurgencies and rebellions that feed on the societal inequalities in the nation. Duterte, as the Mindanaoan president and having served as a Davao City mayor for nearly 2 decades, is seen as someone who understands the issue well. President-elect Rodrigo Duterte has plans to demolish Imperial Manila by radically shifting the current Philippine government into federalisms. He says this is critical in fighting and ending poverty and to also alleviate the tension and the deadliness of Muslims separatist insurgency. I have now presented my points and I am now ready for the interpellation.
Is federal system better than democratic system?
Yes,
Does federalism is a solution for economic equality across the country?
yes,
An effective governance may be the effect of federalism.
no,
Is there political dynasties in some provinces in the Philippines?
yes,
Can federal system resolve the conflicts in Mindanao?
no.
I have no further questions, Your Honor.
Let us now hear the constructive speech for negative side.
The never-ending conflict in Mindanao, the growing rate of poverty in the most regions, the continuing insurgents in Central Luzon and some part of the country, the systemic graft and corruption in government, the immaturity of the electorate, strident cry for cultural recognition, and the instability of political system are just some of the troubles the country is beset and plagued with. With these mounting problems, federalism is viewed by many as the only hope for our country that is going a precipitous drop. Notwithstanding the numerous advantages and benefits of federalism, as articulated by its advocates, federalism is not without any defect. I am Raymond J. Gama, will present the negative side of the preposition resolved that a federal form of government be adopted in Philippines. I will present other side of the coin. I will attempt to manifest some issues to resolve risks to encounter in and disadvantages of federalism system. Before going further, I would like to present to you some important issues about federalism or federal system, which must be resolved first before a strong advocacy for the transformation is made. First, what type of federalism is advocated? It must be emphasized the federalism takes several forms. The following are the types of federalism according to how powers and functions between federal government and stated local government are distributed. By cooperative federalism, competitive federalism, coercive federalism. Since the type of structure of federalism suited for the country are not yet well defined and clear, it is important then that a true study about it should be undertaken before a strong advocacy. There are two phases that I can imagine before a substantial advocacy is made. First, agree on what type of federalism is to be advocated and adopted. And second, assess the specific type as to its advantages and disadvantages. This is to allow the entire populace, if possible, to meaningfully weigh them. By these parameters in the discussions and these debates would be clear and those people will not be confused. It is to be stressed that unless and until defined federal system is agreed upon and debate about it and much less, transforming the country into federal system cannot possibly happen. Second, are we ready for federalism? Philippine political leaders, Filipino mindset and values, and socio-cultural dimensions are not ready yet for another system, such as federalism. Let us examine our political leaders. Most of our politicians are from wealthy families. Being so, they represent the sentiment of their class rather than their poor and lower class constituents. With all the above considerations, I firmly disagree on adopting federal system in the Philippines. We need to focus upon our oneness as a people. Let us highlight the positive things we have in common, rather than our differences. For a nation is bound by things that it loves or identifies with. The essence of nationhood is thinking, feeling, and caring for the nation as a whole, not only for an elite minority, one's regions or sector, but for the vast majority of our people, whether Christian, Muslim, Lumad, peasant, poor, women, leftist, loyalist, or other. I am now ready for interpolation.
Question number 1. Is Manila more industrialized and sovereign compared to other provinces in the Philippines?
Yes,
Is there decentralized in budgetary resources with the largest allocation of area to each provinces?
no,
Are you in favor that large scale of our provinces' resources income is centralized in Manila?
no,
I have no more questions, Your Honor. By changing the system of government to federalism means that a charter change will be made through constituent assembly or constitutional convention for adoption of a federal presidential form of government for the Philippines. My opponent answered that Manila is more industrialized and sovereign compared to other provinces. The concentration of such enormous powers in Manila has created only one center to finance and development in the country, resulting in a highly centralized system of government leading to a spotty development of the nation where preferential treatment has been given to the localities whose officials are friendly with or have easy access to incumbent administration. This lopsided arrangement has found a host of problems, including massive nationwide poverty, to runaway insurgencies and rebellions that feed on the social inequalities in the nation. He also mentioned that there is no decentralized in budgetary resources, with a larger allocation of area to each provinces. We all know that each regions have their own unique problems, situations, geographic, cultural, and social economic contexts. If we adopt federalism, it allows each region to create solutions to their own problems instead of distant Metro Manila deciding for them. This makes sense in an archipelago of over 7,000 islands and 28 dominant ethnic groups. For decades, the national government has been struggling to address the concerns of 79 now and 81 provinces despite challenges posed by geography and cultural differences. A federal government would enable the needs of a nation to be achieved while providing a space for diversity. As a phrase goes, it provides unity in diversity. The federal structure devises a flexible arrangement to varying forms of self-government to suit different circumstances and contingencies.
My opponent said that federalism cannot resolve the conflicts in Mindanao. Advocates of federalism viewed federalism as the only hope for the total resolution of conflict in Mindanao. This I do not agree. Here are some of my points. Conflict in Mindanao is a result of multifarious factors such as call for sovereignty and independence, terrorism, and family feuds. Perhaps the first factor, call for sovereignty and independence, would be resolved in the federalism. However, the two factors, terrorism and RIDO, could not be eliminated by federalism. He also said that there is an existing political dynasties in every provinces. They are typical characterized as families that have established their political or economic dominance in a province and have coordinated efforts to move on the involvement in national government or other positions of national politics that threats people prominence. Notable Philippine political dynasties include the Aquino, Marcos, Arroyo, Binay, Duterte, and Rojas families, Political dynasties usually have a strong, consolidated support base concentrated around the province in which they are dominant. Members of such dynasties usually do not limit their involvement to strictly political activities and have been founded participating in business or culture related activities. That's why if we adopt federalism, it will just pave the way of these political families to sovereign the entire government positions just for them not allowing other people to be in position. Lastly, I will leave you to a quotation from an eminent scholar by Professor Felipe de Leon. Bound by a shared history, language, folklore, artistic traditions, culinary habits, kinship patterns, and many other factors, it will not difficult for us to subordinate selfish interests to the national welfare. If we truly desire to, let us regain our strengths and cultivate our oneness and solidarity as a people. Let us all participate in the noble objective of developing self-reliance, drawing from our collective spirit of the energy and courage we need to steer the country peacefully toward its creative destiny and sovereign majesty in the community of nations.